And we're going to continue on here with Martin Truex Jr., driver of the number 19 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. If you have a question for Martin, please raise your hand and we will get a microphone to you. Start with Eddie. We'll make our way down the line.
Eddie Kalegi, Motorsports Today. Martin, when you started your career, a lot of these home tracks for you, Pocono, Dover, New Hampshire, they had 2 dates. Now, last season of your career, they all got 1. For Pocono Raceway in particular, is this a track you'd like to see get a second date again at some point?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how much things have changed over the years with the schedule, especially, and all the new tracks we've gone to in the last handful of years. But yeah, this place has been a staple for a long time. I enjoy coming here, and been coming up this way for a long time. So I don't know. I feel like the future is probably 1 race everywhere, and not so much 2 anymore. But yeah, it's great that we still come here, and it's a very unique track and a lot of fun.
Tim Moore, Motorsports Today. Just to follow up with Eddie's question, when you started your career here, it was 2 500-mile races. As time's gone on now, just 1 160-lap race. Energy-wise, how much does a track like this take out of you as years have gone on?
I would say this is probably one of the easier ones from the standpoint of just the wear and tear as a driver. You got the long straightaways to kind of relax, and it's it's kind of a laid-back race except for restarts. Restarts mentally challenge you more than anything. But physicality of this place is kind of low on the lower side of some of the tracks we go to, I would say.
Proper, Motorsports Today. So Martin, one of your career-defining wins was your first win with Furniture Row Racing here back in 2015. So now, with this being your final full-time season, seeing your name printed on the start-finish line, what are the emotions just being here again? And are there any memories or takeaways from that win that you take with you into now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all the wins are great memories over the years, but that one definitely was a big one for us as a team. It really kind of jump-started a really good couple of years together. So, yeah, really good memories about that one, and I think in 2018 as well, went in here with that same group. So, got a lot of great memories here. We've had some heartbreakers as well. A few that got away over the years, but last year we were very strong here, and looking forward to hopefully being able to get a checker flag tomorrow. That's what we're here to do, and I feel good about that. I feel great about our team and what we've been doing lately, and we've had a lot of speed. We just need to capitalize on it, so hopefully we can do that tomorrow.
We're going to go to Bob and then Zach in the back.
Bob Hawkers, Fox Sports. As they said, your name is printed across the start-finish line. I don't know if you've seen it.
I seen it yesterday, yeah, watching the trucks, so it was very cool.
I'm curious, is there any part you're like, oh boy, here we go, all these tributes and all that kind of stuff, or are you ready to embrace it?
I'd say I'm ready to embrace it. I think I was actually pretty surprised at seeing that 2 days ago, and as a driver, I've been around. You just don't ever really feel like you're deserving of things like that. So I don't know, for Pocono to do that, for the Speedway to do that, was really special. I think it means a lot to me and my family, and definitely really cool to see, and just hopefully we're the first one to cross it tomorrow.
Zach Sterney, NASCAR.com. Martin, it's surprising to look at the stats and see that it's been since Kansas that you finished in the top 5, but it feels like this team has had the speed. How close do you feel like you guys are? And coming back here where you have had success, does that add any sort of extra confidence that this is a place in a weekend that you guys can start going the right direction on the result sheet?
Yeah, for sure. It's been a tough month and a half, I guess you'd say, finish-wise, but speed-wise, it's been aside from maybe last week in Iowa, we've been solid. So yeah, just need to capitalize on that and execute. It takes a lot of things to finish up front, lead laps, win races, other than just having a fast car. So hopefully we can put it all together this weekend. But I feel good about it, and yeah, just it's been kind of in a slump, I'd say, for a little while now.
Is there anything you can pinpoint as to why?
It's been multiple things. It's been a little frustrating for sure. You name it across the board, it's happened. I think in the last 3 races, we've been crashed at the end by someone. So. That's been pretty frustrating. we dealt with a lot of things with rain and some crazy things like that. So, yeah, just hopefully this is a normal, straightforward weekend. We can have a good day today and execute tomorrow, and we'll be up front. We'll be in good shape.
Martin, I know the focus this weekend is obviously Pocono, Indy the following week, and then you have Richmond. Richmond's a spot where you've had lots of success in your career. How do you sort of view that track, and what are sort of your memories there, specifically in Richmond?
Well, the winds stick out as usual, everywhere. The winds are always huge. But, yeah, just, that place has been really, really good for us. And also really frustrating with the amount of times we've dominated and came up short, including this season. So, yeah, I just always look forward to going there. It's a very unique track, very old school, short track, tire wear. You got to manage your stuff, and that really, I feel like, plays into my strengths. It's going to be different this time around. They're changing the tire, so the domination that we had there in the spring, we'll have to kind of figure out how to recapture it, and hopefully come up with something that'll work as good as we have in the past.
We'll go next to Steve Post.
Steve Post, Motor Racing Network. Martin, maybe not specifically, we have the vacation or the break coming up, the 2 weeks coming up, maybe not specifically what you're doing, but can you kind of describe getting away from the sport for 2 weeks, even maybe representing the team, the crew guys getting a little downtime, and just what's your expectation of that's going to be like to not have to get on a plane and go somewhere on Thursday or Friday?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's not very often we get 2 weeks in a row off, so I think it's definitely great for the crew guys. They work so hard, so many hours. I mean, they just don't stop. So it's a grind, and it'll be good for them to get to spend a little time with their families. And then, as a team, you kind of regroup, get recharged. With the playoffs coming up and the end of the season and all that it goes into that with the pressure and all. So it'll be a nice break for everyone. I would say that I get more of a break than most of those guys. So it's nice to see that they get it as well. But yeah, it should be fun.
Jet White, track hopper. Martin, with the exception of Homestead in 2017, what race in your career stands out to you? What are you most proud of?
Well, that's a tough question. Probably the Coke 600 that we led, pretty much the whole thing, aside from, green flag pit stops we led every lap. So that's something that probably will never happen again. And it's always cool to be on the sheet somewhere where, you've done something that nobody else has.
Thank you.
Let's go to Davey in the back.
Davey Sigua, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Martin, I think you said earlier that the straightaways here are so long that you could just kind of relax a lot of the time. Do you actually just kind of chill out and relax when you're just going down these long straightaways?
Yeah, there's a lot to think about, Think about what you're doing next week, where you're going fishing. No, honestly, yeah, it gives you time to think about your car and, what's going on in the race and kind of, a lot of times you're just, in such traffic and, concentration and just really, really, focused on what you're doing. And in a place like this, you actually have a little bit of time to think about things, what's going on. So it makes it a little easier from a mental standpoint to kind of understand what's all happening around you, how the race is going and things like that, where your car is doing, what you need, time to talk to your crew when you can actually hear them. Bristol, you can barely hear what they're even saying. You barely have time to push the button, so definitely a little bit different there.
Racing today, he's raced only one time here in Xfinity before. What conversations have you guys had leading up to this race to try to best prepare him?
Not a lot, really, honestly. He does a lot of stuff with sim work and working with his team. So I think last time he raced here was in a truck and he ran second. So he had some confidence, and I know he worked hard this week on the simulator. I can't even see where he's at now, but hopefully he has a good day. He's had a decent year. With obviously a win at Dover was huge again for him. So hopefully we're trying to put together some more races for him next year. But he's done a really good job of jumping around different teams at JGR and performing well.
Additional questions for Martin? All right, Martin, thanks so much
All
for
right,
coming
thank
in.
you, guys.
Good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
All right, there's the checkered flag. Great job, driver.